It's episode 1246, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Nashville, it's artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
Just down the street there in Nashville, our managing editor, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
And in LA, I need to do a better thing. Like when you first came on the podcast, you were known from Social Club.
Yeah.
Now you're known more as Marty. You're a label owner. You're an artist. You're an incredible producer. But it's the exact same as Derek. You're an artist, producer, mogul. So I don't know how to differentiate you two. So anyway, it's Marty.
Yes.
Help me come up with an intro.
My boy said, I don't know what to do. And Marty said, hey.
I just held my breath. Yeah. I just held my breath for you. If you could see the podcast, I just held my breath for 10 seconds.
How do you want to be described, Marty?
Yeah, you tell me.
You know what? I don't know, actually. I'm not really good at that stuff. Let me chat GPT it and get back to you guys on that.
I need to go to the Steve Harvey School of Intro, like the Kings of Comedy, you know.
Uh-huh.
That's what I need to do. You have intro music. But Jesse is out this week. He is again on production, the show that he's working on. But he did assure us, listeners, that this is the last week that this will be a conflict for the foreseeable future.
Get money.
So he'll be back next episode. Emily, before we move along, I am excited to see that your computer is working after your very debacle this week. Where tell them what happened to your computer this week.
It's so frustrating. I have never let me clarify this. I've never once said that I'm like a big tech person, but I'm not.
We know. You didn't have to say it.
Well, just for the people to know.
Not a sports person, not a tech person.
We're actually going to take a second to talk about what I am a person about, and that's pop culture.
Pop culture, books, and Jesus. That's about it.
Okay.
Auntie Emily over here with the computer.
Anyways, okay, so Monday morning we start working and it just all of a sudden shuts off and like nothing, like I'm like typing on something and it just shuts off and it's so weird. And so I use my laptop for the whole day and I set up a little Genius Bar appointment to take it. And throughout the day, I am checking to make sure that this really isn't working. Like I'm plugging it into different outlets. I'm holding that power button for as long as I can. Nothing's happening.
This is a brand new iMac we just bought her, like a few months
old. A year
old.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, there's no way that there's something broken about it. But I said, my bet is when you take to the Genius Bar appointment, it will magically work. What happens, Emily?
I lug this thing through the Green Hills Mall and I plug it in at the Genius Bar in Apple and it turns on completely. A big one. I'm carrying this computer like a toddler on my hip through the mall. Yeah. It's so embarrassing. It's also hot pink because I picked it out. And so I'm carrying a pink massive Mac through the mall. And of course everyone's looking at me. So I take it there, plug it in, and it immediately turns on. And I could have screamed in the middle of this Apple store. And so then this very nice little nerdy man comes over and he's like, so I hear your computer's not turning on. And I said, listen, it's on right now. It was not on early. Like I go through the whole story and everything. And he does assure me that he believes that it wasn't working because he's like, no one would bring their massive computer through the mall, the hot pink computer through the mall if it wasn't actually working. Yeah. We do a diagnostic. I just hadn't updated the software. Whatever.
I'm telling you, there's something about the Genius Bar. Has this happened to y'all where something's not working? It's not working. And then you take it to the Genius Bar and it works. And there's nothing they did to it.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
It's part. You know what it is? It's part of being old. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's just part of being.
I'm still in my 20s. Okay, I got 6 more weeks in my 20s. Okay, let me hold on.
Okay. Speaking of
crossing over into auntie land with us,
dude, Derek, she got a fan DM'd her this week. What did that fan say to you, Emily?
I'm glad we're talking about this because I want to address something to the public listening.
Okay.
I am 29 years old, okay? I'm technically millennial. Sometimes I say I'm Gen Z when it benefits me, but I'm millennial Gen Z, okay? Right? I got a message this week that was very sweet and encouraging, and they said that they liked me on the podcast, and then they put hashtag Gen X. And I texted it to Cameron, and I said, am I giving Gen X on the podcast?
This lady thinks you are full on in your 50s. You're giving 50-something vibes.
And I was like,
she's like, Gen X power. I love having representation on the show. Go, Emily.
I was so confused. In my mind, I'm like, surely this is a typo. Like, there's no way.
Nope.
That's what I'm
She's
like.
X.
I need
Gen
y'all.
X.
I need y'all to now pivot to saying nice things about me and how I'm young and youthful and
you're so youthful,
full of life,
cool, young, youthful, and you were one of the 100 that got the hot pink collaboration.
Thank
Barbie.
you. That is
iMac.
so Gen Z of me. Please.
Yeah, Emily. What's funny is that what I've been noticing. You know how like the generation after before millennials,
Sure.
they make fun of us. Right? They'll be like, "Oh, millennials do this, do that." Well, then when that would be Gen Z, is Gen Z. So Gen Z now is bullying the newer generation because they're starting to call them new Jenner. So, for instance, if someone goes, like, for instance, it'll be something on TikTok or something, it'll be like, you know, a band that everybody knows about. And it'll be like Michael Jackson stood out there. And the person will be like, who's this guy? As a kind of like a trolling comment. And somebody would be like, you must be a new Jenner. Like, you don't know about it. So now I see Gen Z's bullying everybody. They're just going to bully everybody through this whole situation.
My theory is every other generation clicks up and becomes the same generation. So like millennials and boomers are the same. Gen Z and Gen X are the same. They have very simple. It's the cycle thing that happens
every 20 years.
So maybe,
every 20 years. So they're just younger versions of the skipper generation. So I feel like Gen Zers are just younger versions of Gen Xers, and then we were just younger versions of boomers. Like,
so maybe this person's Gen X. She thinks I'm Gen Z. She sees herself in me.
That's what I think.
Okay, I'll take that.
Because a Gen Xer would absolutely be clued into pop culture right now.
Someone in their 50s?
Yeah, I'm saying like if you were like a real Gen Xer, like we're doing whatever, you know, like they would want to be the cool 50-year-old. They wouldn't want to be. They may not be clued into pop culture like Emily, but they want to be the cool 50-year-old.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be the washed up. You know what I mean? Because they were rebelling against that, right? So that's been a rebellion thing for forever. So they're not going to be, they're like aunties. They're accepting grandma, auntie, whatever. But it's like, I'm going to be the cool grandma. You're going to see me doing this and that. That's what I feel like.
So my fan base is cool grandmas is what you're telling me.
Yes, that's what we're trying to get to. So
cool
she
grandma.
was saying to you, I'm Gen X. She's like hashtagging herself and like, I like you. She's trying to say to you, I like you on the show. I'm Gen X, but I love hearing you on the show.
Yes.
Maybe she wasn't saying you're Gen X. She was just saying she connects with you.
But she connects with you because she skipped a generation.
Okay.
And y'all she sees herself in you. Right? She's looking, she's like, yeah, she knows all these pop idols and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think is
When
happening.
I was 28, I was just like Emily, kind of
Bingo.
a thing. Yeah.
Okay,
Bingo.
I'll take that. I'll take that. So I am giving Gen Z, even though I'm also not Gen Z.
Oh, I thought you were Gen Z.
No, like 95, 96 is the cutoff year for like the end of millennial, beginning of Gen
whatever.
Z. I'm
You're
95,
Gen Z.
so
You're 2 years off.
I always say I'm zillennial, where it's like I have both.
Yes.
I think Zillennials with a Z, our defining characteristic is we did watch Hannah Montana, which I always say that was the straddle.
I missed that.
Yeah,
one.
I missed
And
that.
y'all don't really remember 9/11.
No, I was in first grade.
I remember 9/11 actually.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't. Yeah, you guys don't.
Yeah, Marty's a millennial.
You didn't know what's happening. I was in third grade.
I just remember, I think my parents picked me up from school and I thought, oh, cool, day off school. That was pretty much what my memories were.
Oh my gosh. I remember my teacher watching it in class and being like, hey, everybody. And then they found out. And then they're like, hey, do not watch the 9/11 in class with your students.
There are bodies falling out of the building on television.
That's what's wrong with us.
Yeah,
That's what's wrong with us. Because we didn't know nothing about the broadcasting and all of that
Horrors
stuff.
of life.
And they just roll a cart in while a plane hits a tower and people are jumping out. They just rolled the cart in. It's like, hey, watch this.
Literally rolled the cart in, Derek. Like the black, you know what I'm talking about? Like it's strapped to the sides of the, like it's a big TV.
Right.
It's like the top of it's strapped around and they're rolling it through with the cords. And I was a part of that team, like the media team. So I'm plugging it in. I put it on NBC and I'm like, oh my God.
And see, okay, this is why like I say I'm on the both sides of millennial and Gen Z, because I remember in elementary school, the rolling the carts in and all that and stuff. But then by the time I get to high school, we have smart boards and the nice projector. So it's like I got the best of both worlds, Hannah Montana reference. So that's why.
Did you have like iPads or laptops given to you as a student, or did you have a computer lab?
When we got to high school, we had like they would roll in a cart of laptops that you could use in class. But when I was in elementary school, we had a computer lab where I learned how to type. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I had the end of the millennial experience and the beginning of the Gen Z experience.
You never played Oregon Trail, is what you're saying? Like on the school computer?
No, I had a life.
MS-DOS. Yeah.
I was the GOAT at Oregon Trail, boy.
No, I was going to say, that was the one game at school on the school computers that you could do because it was a teaching game.
There was like other websites. I don't remember what they were, but they were like game websites that we played, but Oregon Trail was not one of them.
I grew up in the era where when you had to do homework online, you had to plug in the phone cord to the wall and tell everybody in the house, I'm going to be online, because then the phones weren't going to work for the next hour.
I just saw this movie called Y2K.
Oh, so good.
And it was, so good. It's a good movie because, like, you know, they're trying to like call the police and they're like, someone's online, you know, and somebody's online right now.
I grew up in the era of Sandra Bullock's The Net being the crazy.
Yes, I tried to watch that yesterday,
movie.
Kim.
Did you really?
It's not good. It's not good on rewatch.
My mom didn't see it, but she heard about it. And so my mom thought that viruses and hackers come into your computer via the phone cord. So my mom made me unplug the physical phone cord every time I was not using the computer so hackers couldn't come over the wire and steal our secrets.
Okay, but I get her logic. I can see her logic there.
But this is how early it was. Like the net scared us that like if it's plugged into the wall, we can get it, you know. Anyway, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, TAYA joins us. You know her from Hillsong United. You might have heard of the song Oceans back in the day. TAYA's joining us. She has a brand new solo album out. It's her sophomore solo album. And Emily talks to her. Also, at the end of the show, we had so much fun with it last week. We are bringing back an Easter edition of One Has to Go. But stay tuned right now. Up next, it's Relevant Buzz. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for Relevant Buzz. Tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week, Emily.
Okay, I've got a new study that I want to talk to you about. But first, let me ask y'all this. Do you guys have a go-to comfort show that you've watched like over and over again?
Friends.
No. Really?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, throw it on the background. I always know there's going to be a joke that's going to set up Seinfeld.
Mine lately has been One Piece. Right now I'm watching pirates, prison escapees, and transvestites fight the military. So it's pretty cool.
Wait, but is this like a new show you're watching, or is it like you're going back to it? She's asking about rewatching,
this
like
show
shows
right
you
here,
go back to.
I feel like it's like
it's on Kick.
20 seasons long. Like, so it's still out today. So it's like, yeah, that's really, I don't have a comfort show that I go back to. I just have shows that I obsess with.
New shows.
Gotcha.
Yeah, got you.
Cameron?
Mine's The Office. I mean, New Girl, depending on the season.
Office is good. Office is good stuff.
How many times do you think you've watched The Office?
I mean, early seasons, 100 times each for sure.
No, that's crazy.
I know every word of every episode.
That's crazy. There's no way.
So I was like that. I was like that with Seinfeld too. I will watch through the entire 8 seasons that are on the Supercut on Peacock, through all 8 seasons every 2 to 3 weeks. Like it's just a background noise at my house.
Ladies out there right now, please send in your resume. We're gonna get my.
You must like The Office. You must
like
Office.
Like
The Office.
Well, okay,
hey, look,
but you
DM me. Listen,
defense,
this is what we're gonna do because I don't want y'all to stress my bro out. DM me, like, you know what I'm saying, your resume, photos, and all that stuff. I'll go through your profile, and
if you don't like The Office, we can settle on New Girl. That's fine. That could be our show.
Get this man out
every once in a while. King of Queens
right now.
Seinfeld.
You must have a Peacock subscription or not talking.
Well, listen. Okay, I'll come to Cameron's defense. What he's actually doing, according to a new study from the state of New York University, is a form of emotional regulation. So researchers found that a lot of times.
Is it not deep depression?
Okay.
It's not deep depression.
I'll follow it. Ladies, hold off on the resumes. Hold off on the resumes.
It's not OCD. Okay.
So basically what happens is, our brains, when life feels chaotic, we're looking for stability somewhere, and your nervous system wants to go somewhere safe. And for a lot of us, somewhere safe is a comfort show because we know what's going to happen. We know these characters, and we can sort of check in with these friends that we've made through like a parasocial relationship, and we know what they're going to say. They're going to bring us comfort, and it gives us a stability. And so it is not depression, it is not singleness, it is emotional regulation, and we love emotional health over here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I like that. I like that interpretation of what's going on. That sounds really good and balanced. No, it is that motive though. It's like I don't want to need to pay attention because I'm like you, Derek. If I'm like into a new show, it requires my attention. I'm in. I'm not screens out. I'm watching the show that I want to watch, which there's great TV on right now. But it's just me in a big empty house. I want to hear my friends talking in the background kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll just throw on The Office and it'll just kind of play. It'll just be background noise.
Also, there's times where like you're working, Cam, or you're working and you're like, all right, it's over. Like you finished this task. And then you can like turn around and be like, oh, I love this. Or you just start
like this scene,
quoting it. I do that all the time.
Yeah. My brain, if I'm working in creative work, if I'm working with graphics, I want to listen to dialogue. I want to listen to, and I'm not a podcast person, ironically. I know they're great, but I'll listen to, like I'm on a walk, I'll listen to NPR, I'll listen to Days News. But like at home, I'll listen to shows that are familiar because I don't have to pay attention to them. If I'm listening to a podcast, I need to pay attention to it. So it's like what you're saying, Emily, resonates with me because it's just like familiar. I don't need to wonder what's going to happen next. I know what, so I don't have to pay attention to it. It's just comforting.
Yeah, I think mine is more projects. Yeah. Like I just start doing a project with my hands. Like there's just something about working with my hands and doing something. That's how I emotionally regulate. Like if I get stressed out, I start cleaning the house. Like that's what I'll do. I'll be like cleaning everything from top to bottom.
That might be a little different in the sense of, I agree. Like we've talked in the past, like a lot of leaders and mentors that I've talked to, like I ask, like, how do you de-stress? How do you, I guess, emotionally regulate? And Rick Warren told me one time, he said, if you are somebody who works with your mind all day, you need to relax by working with your hands, and vice versa. If you're somebody who works with your hands all day, you need to relax by stimulating your mind, reading a book and things like that. So his thing was gardening. So he's like, I'm in meetings all day, making decisions, inspiring leaders and speaking all day. And then I can recharge by working quietly with my hands and my garden. But I'm cultivating, I'm creating, I'm caring for and nurturing something. So I feel like it's productive, but it's also a totally different side of my brain. That's what you're talking about, Derek. For me, it's building Legos. Like it's the same thing. I don't have to make decisions, but I'm building and creating and but I don't have to think about it, right? It's working with my hands.
Just following instead of being the one that's making the plan, you're following a plan that's already laid out and you're being really detailed and structured and enjoying the process of being led in a sense. So
and I like cooking for the same reason, but I really like cooking like HelloFresh, where it gives me exact
I love that too,
recipe and steps, where it's like, I don't have to think about the portions. I don't have to think about the steps. I just have to follow it. And look, I made this wonderful thing. Like to me, that is really invigorating, but I don't want to sit there and like create a recipe, experiment, which is true cooking,
right?
Like in Legos, I watch the Lego people who like create something out of thin air. I'm like, that's not my brain at all. Like I'm just want to follow.
Is it cake? I can't do it. Like is it cake would be stressful. Like that would not be a.
That's not your comfort show.
That's not my. Well, no, I actually like Is It Cake to watch because I'm just like, yo, these people are crazy.
But it doesn't bring you the calm stability like Friends or The Office.
No, I'm saying if you told me to make a cake of Cameron, I would be extremely stressed out because I wouldn't know where to start. Now, if you give me directions on how to make a cake of Cameron, then that would be an awesome challenge. You know what I'm saying?
If you made a cake of Cameron, would he be laying down or would you build it vertically?
That's such a good.
I'm feeling uncomfortable
like
right
one of
now.
your French girls, Jack.
Does he put one leg in the air and turn over?
Emily, so you're saying if you're rewatching The Office alone in your house, you're not sad, you're emotionally regulating. I love this.
Yes. Yeah, you're emotionally healthy. At least this, according to one study.
Or you might be depressed.
This is brought to you by the TV Syndication Association of America.
This is brought to you by the Cameron Strang Foundation, who funded this.
Hey, ladies, I'm not sad. I'm emotionally regulated.
You know, I was just watching Black Mirror, and that's a part of the new episode where she will say an ad in the middle of talking. She'll be like, "Hey, fellas, are you feeling sad today?" And she doesn't know she's doing an ad, but to be alive, she needs to have an ad.
Is it new?
Is it?
I know there's a new season. Is it good?
It's out, yeah.
Yeah, the episode with Rashida Jones is, she, the story is basically she passes away, but they figure out a way how to preserve the brain in a way where she could be alive, but you have to pay a subscription service for it.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's outrageous. It's really heartbreaking.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Black Mirror has
predicted the future.
Kinda.
Yeah.
You need the Plus service or you're going to be running ads. So she's in the middle of teaching a course and she's like, honey nugs, delicious for the whole family. And the kids are like, what are honey nugs? And she's like, what's a honey nug?
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if anyone's comfort show is Black Mirror. That would be a sign of depression.
That is a disturbing person.
That would not be an emotionally regulated person. That would be
That is a serial killer. That's whose comfort show is Black Mirror. Is a serial killer.
Emily, I don't know if we ran it, but did you see a study came out last week that said psychologists are saying like if you watch true crime shows as you're like right before bed, kind of wind down shows, like it really is like rewiring your brain in a negative way, like with anxiety and different things. What was that study?
I know what you're talking about, and I didn't want to talk about it because unfortunately my comfort show is a true crime show, and I'm aware that it's not a good thing.
Right.
What show is it?
She loves 40 Days in Prison, where she watches these guys fight for their lives.
No, I love Criminal Minds.
Oh.
Which is a show about serial killers, like finding serial killers. I've watched that far too many times, but it is a comfort show for me. And I am aware that it is not one of my best qualities.
Yeah, but like the psychologists were like warning about it. Like if you're finding yourself like late at night, winding down before bed and putting on a true crime show, like it's actually doing harm to your brain, your psyche, your emotional health.
All right, let me throw Dexter on right quick.
Right.
Wow. Let me text my wife right? As we do this.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I'm aware it's probably my mindset going to bed after I watch The Office versus watching Criminal Minds is probably a little different, but I get the same things out, like what the study was saying of like, I know these characters, I know how it ends. I know they catch the serial killer in the end. So in a way it's a little comforting, but I could probably just be watching sitcoms instead.
Yeah.
Put the knife down, Emily. No, leave me alone.
Emily's watching SVU for fun.
There's a reason why she usually has like big poles stuck to her doorknob and she's got like all this stuff because she lives in a state of fear because she watches all this true crime stuff about women getting taken. It is really funny. So this is an aside. So growing up, my family, our house was always the one that was open to everyone. Like it would literally be unlocked all hours of the day and I don't know if it's because I watch so much true crime, but now mine is always locked and I normally do have like a stick shoved up against the door so that way no one can push their way in. And I think it is because I grew up in a house where the door was always open.
No,
and
I think the side of town you on probably won't.
I was gonna say, yeah,
it might warrant it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like you're not in Mayberry, that's for sure. Like you're in Nashville. You're in the city part of Nashville too. So you know.
So I'm just trying to protect myself. Anyways, all right. We got to move on and stop talking about my fears and comfort shows. There is a new report from the American Bible Society that for the first time since the pandemic, Bible use and scripture engagement is on the rise, especially among younger adults. So the report found that the number of U.S. adults who read the Bible outside of church at least 3 times a year rose from 38% to 41% over the last year.
3 times a year. That's what we're calling Bible reading.
That's what I was going to say. Hold on a second. Did you say 3 times a year?
At least 3 times a year. So it could be more. Hopefully it's more. I know this doesn't sound exciting, but that is 10 million more people who are reading a Bible. And
to me, that's like, we're going to set the bar so low that you don't even have to jump. Just walk over this.
What was the difference like in the terminology in the study, the Bible usage versus Bible reading? What was that?
Yeah. So the stat I just talked about was Bible use, which again is just, did you read your Bible 3 times a year?
You picked it up 3 times a year. Yeah.
Yeah. That's raised a little bit. Now, when it comes to scripture engagement, that includes not only reading the Bible, but also did the Bible actually shape your decisions, your relationships, your worldview, stuff like that. That has risen slightly among both Gen Z and millennials. For Gen Z, it went from 11 to 15%. Millennials went to 12 to 17%.
Time out.
Okay.
So how can the Bible inform your decisions if you don't read it? Except for 3 times a year.
These are the people who are deeper than the 3 times a year people.
Yes.
Because the 3 times a year people are like 40-ish%. And the people who are saying, I read the Bible so much that it actually shapes my worldview is now risen up to 15%.
Like 15%.
Yeah. So
got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm tracking now.
That is a very small number. I'm sorry, but 11 to 15%. Yay, it's going up, but that's crazy low. That like we heard last week, 66% of Americans say that they have a personal commitment to Jesus and they follow Jesus. And you just said, hey, good news. Now, all the way up to 15% of this generation is actually reading the Bible enough that it's affected their worldview. So there's a massive glut of people who say they follow Jesus and do not pick up their Bible. That is crazy.
Yes. Yeah. But I think that the reason I want to share this is because of the study last week of there is 2/3 of the American population that is open to Jesus and open to his teachings. Now it's part of the church. Let's get them the Bible. Like let's get that number from 15 up to 66, where the rest of it.
And we would like to announce a new partnership we have with the American Bible Association, where we're starting a new reading plan tomorrow. No, I'm joking.
Comes with the Constitution and it comes with the Bill of Rights.
The lyrics to "God Bless America" by Lee Stovall or whatever his name is.
Okay, I thought that was positive news. So
no, again, it is going up, but I'm just saying, 11 to 15%. We've got a little bit of room to grow. Yeah.
Listen, I'll take a 4% increase over a decrease. I'll say that. So
absolutely,
we'll take that.
All
right. Moving on. I'm not sure if y'all saw this, but there were multiple sources going around reporting that OpenAI, which is the parent company behind ChatGPT, they are working on their own social media platform
to rival X. They're trying to take on X.
Yeah. Nothing is official yet, but there is reportedly an internal prototype floating around that will look sort of like X. And then the CEO, Sam Altman, has been trying to get some feedback on it. But it's not sure if it'll be it's fully its own app or if it's just like a feature buried inside ChatGPT. But conversations are happening.
I saw this and I thought, oh, this is great, because I know Sam Altman and Elon Musk have a big rivalry right now, because like they had a breaking apart around ChatGPT and OpenAI. And I love the idea that like Elon has ruined X to the point that like OpenAI is going to like provide an alternative, right? Okay, cool. No, it's not as honorable as that. What it is Meta is working on their own AI, and obviously we know about Grok is baked into X. And what the problem is, from OpenAI's perspective, from ChatGPT's perspective, is both Meta and Grok or X have an advantage because everything you type on Instagram and Facebook is feeding into their AI learning. Everything you type on X is feeding into Grok learning. And OpenAI doesn't have a social media platform. It just has to scrape the internet for information, verbiage, things like that. So he would only be starting his own social media network to get us to give him free data, free communication, free information.
So it can train
ChatGPT.
Yeah. Sure, let's do it.
And he's trying to catch up.
Why not?
Right. So it's like, I thought he was like, oh, I'm going to take Elon down. And he's like, no, I just need the cheat code that they have. So
he is trying to take Elon down at being the most richest man on the planet. That is the goal.
That's true. That's true.
So would y'all join this platform if he?
Right.
Yeah, I would. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to give your thoughts, dreams, and data to OpenAI, you can join their new social network that is coming soon, probably. All right. Make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every day where we are covering more stories like that. That'll do it for Relevant Buzz. Thanks, Emily.
Welcome.
All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Taya joins us. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way his spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, today on the show, we're joined by TAYA. You know her from United, but she's just released her sophomore solo album, The Reminder. It came from a chaotic, restless season of her life, from becoming a new mom to facing a cancer diagnosis. She opened up to Emily about walking through those trials and how music helped her stay focused on the steadiness of God and what she hopes others can learn from her journey. Here's our conversation with TAYA.
So the last time we spoke, you were telling me about your debut solo album. What was the process like creating your second record on your own?
Well, I love this question because I feel like it's a bit of like a both and. I feel like it's felt completely new season, but then it's also felt like a coming home and like a homecoming. My A&R for my first record, Chris York, said you have all the time in the world to write your first, and then whilst you're stewarding it, all of a sudden it's the time for your second record and you've run out of time and everyone's like freaking out. So with that in mind, I was like, I don't want to be found in that place. So I feel like I started the process of seeking God to get a word from him to then be able to run earlier than I felt ready to, but it still also felt like the right time. And that was 26th of January, 2023. And I'll never forget it because God spoke so clearly. Set some time aside, like praying, fasting, and felt like he dropped the words, eagle soar in my spirit, spoke to me through Matthew 6, which is all about look at the birds of the air. They don't gather and sow and reap into barns, and yet your Heavenly Father like cares for them. In the message it says, they're careless in the care of God. How cool is that? And I know we like talked a little bit like, you know, a little while back about going to be good. So it was all, that was like in that era as well. And that's where it all came from. And then, you know, that's all talking about provision, which then the counter side would be, I think perhaps I was worrying about like money, worrying about like provision and will you really provide, God? And what does this look like? And knowing we're on the cusp of wanting to have a family, and currently I was the one working and Ben was with me the entire time. But just even like logistically, what does that look like, you know? But I had the 2 words from God, and in his kindness, he knew the 2 years that we would have. I didn't. And I'm so grateful because the fun thing about birds, especially eagles, and when it comes to soaring, no one knows how they catch the thermal convection currents that allow them to rise up into the air to be able to not expend so much energy and to be able to see things from a higher vantage point and do the thing that they're created to do, because they look insanely beautiful doing this. But they just do. And then in that devotional on that day, that's why I remember it with my Oswald Chambers, My Utmost for His Highest, January 26th, it says, they are just obeying the instincts that God has placed on the inside of them. And that really rung true for me, because even though I had 1 record down, you come to the second, I still feel like a novice. I'm like, oh gosh, like what are we doing? Like, how do we do this? How do we write songs? I don't know. And it's like God was taking the pressure off from the start, saying, you just have to be who I've called you to be. Like, be obedient. Like everything that I have brought you through in this first record, this is now going to be the foundation for this one. You don't have to stress and strive, because nothing good happens in that, because that's me trying to take control. And that's not me resting into this, you know, and from a place of rest, or trusting or surrendered, like, you know, all the good words that are hard to learn. And so it's like he knew that I was probably going to struggle with some of that. And so he was just setting the precedent of like, the best things are going to come when you're completely surrendered and you're not trying to fight who I'm calling you to be, and you're not trying to fight against, like when you are spending all your time and energy toward just being obedient, like that's when it's going to go really well for you. If you're going to have to fight and have the wrong, like, this doesn't sound like me and this, like that's going to be wasted time and headspace and all of that. Which again, I think that's that simplifying thing that I was talking about of like strip down, you know, run the race that's set out for you.
What do you want people to take away, not just from this music, but from your story?
Yes, just the faithfulness of God. You know, that is it's the banner over my life. It is the banner over this record. Because I feel like God was taking away everything that I could lean on that wasn't him. And I sang a song about it. And I'll always forever pay for singing Oceans, spiritually and just in my own life. Because I've sung it that many times. God's like, okay, well, she obviously probably means it, you know, and let this be a prayer that, Holy Spirit, would you lead me to a place where I have nothing else to lean on? You know, with spiritually where my trust is without borders, let me walk upon the waters wherever you call me. Like that I would, and I feel like that is probably continually what my life will be, of like, if there's ever been a false sense of identity, a false sense of security, a false sense of anything that has not been what God would ordain it to be, he will literally strip it away if you surrender. And of course, like, we say that we want that, we sing all those songs, but then when it actually happens, it's uncomfortable and it's scary and it's I don't enjoy it. And yet what comes out of it though is a renewed sense about who he is, and that he really is everything that he ever promised that he would be. And then so much more, because he's so much bigger than my puny way of thinking and my, the way that my mind could even wrap its little, God is just so immense and so awesome. And yeah, and I've just come away with, he's faithful, he's faithful, he's faithful. And I love that it's straight from scripture. It's that, I'll just grab that. It's 2 Timothy 2 verse 11. And I love that it says this is a trustworthy statement. That's what it says, which I'm like, yes, it is. The word of God is all of it. It is a trustworthy statement. For if we die with him, we will also live with him. If we endure, we will also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. In this part, verse 13, if we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself. And I just love that in like all the different tracks, I could tell you the stories and where they were coming from and the testimonies about them, even now that we're, walking out, friends, family, the whole thing. But I just love that they're, memorial stones, that the songs themselves are just a testament to the faithfulness of God. And just like back in the Old Testament, when people would walk past altars that people had built, when God did something amazing and great or delivered them, they would always build an altar and then sacrifice as their worship to God. And then they would leave them there and people would always know, oh, that's when God did this, and I love that songs are like that for us. When you hear a song of, say, that really marked you in the presence of God, which I love this because last night we had like a party after the after party. No, just kidding. But this was some dear friends, like just celebrating the album being out in their home. And we're playing all these like old worship. I mean, let's be honest, it was United. I wasn't in United when I was younger, but we all have those like, old cuts from, the deep cuts from some of the records. Like this song marked me, like, and we were playing them and I just love that it takes you back to that moment and you're reminded of what God brought you through. You're reminded of what God did or what he spoke. And so I hope that people would have reminders of God's faithfulness in their own life when they hear these songs, that it has something that causes them to remember something about, God in their story and the way that he orchestrates and moves and works. And and everyone's reminder is going to be different because we all have different seasons and scenarios and things that we go through. But what's cool is there's over 8,000 reminders in the Bible. And there's over like 300 times that word reminder is mentioned and over 500 times that the variation of that word is mentioned. So I love that God knew we would forget and that we would need, that we're forgetful people and we would need constant reminders. Like even think like in the New Testament, how many times it says, do not worry. And so he obviously knows we will unfortunately be disobedient and forget and would need the reminder many, many times. And so I just like the fact that it's called the reminder and anyone can attach to that the thing that they need to remember, the word, the promise, the moment, just a reminder of the Lord's faithfulness in their own life as they listen through.
That was TAYA. Make sure to check out her new album. It's called The Reminder. It's out now. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's One Has to Go. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, it's time for One Has to Go. Okay, here's the thing. I just played the jingle. Here's the thing about One Has to Go. I had this thought and called Emily after the last show. I was like, this segment has legs. And what I mean by that is we do all these different games, and some games are competitive. Some games are like trivia knowledge. Some games are meant to elicit banter. What we always want to do is bring out the personality of the cast, stories from you guys, whatever. This thing about One Has to Go, if you listen to last week's, it's like, I learned stuff about Derek. I didn't know you didn't drink soda. I got all the personalities came out, stories came out. It was like low stakes arguing, I was like, people build an entire podcast around this segment, like One Has to Go. Right. It's like a whole podcast.
We should make a game. The relevant podcast game.
I'm thinking is this will be our standard game because we can keep it fresh. Like we got some Easter stuff in this week's. We could talk about pop culture stuff happening in the week. We could, whatever, get to know you stuff. So anyway, One Has to Go is probably going to be a recurring thing long term, but I got to do a better jingle because I did a little throwaway jingle thinking it was a one-off, and now I got to step it up and do a better jingle. So anyway, all I say, the jingle just playing this, like, man, I got to update that thing. So
do it.
One Has to Go. All right, I'm going to go around the horn, and here we go. Some Easter ones. Derek, you're up first. Easter candy. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Peeps, Chocolate Bunny, or Robin Eggs? One has to go.
What's Robin Eggs?
Those little chocolate eggs with little
cream
speckles.
Yeah. Oh, no, get the Peeps out of here then. Peeps gotta go. Right. Peeps gotta go.
Which is the one with the egg with the cream in it?
Cadbury.
That's the Cadbury egg.
Cadbury.
Yeah, I love the little. Get them Peeps out of here, bro. We don't want them ones taste like. It tastes like if you took a marshmallow and you wrapped it inside a cough syrup.
Cough syrup.
You take cough syrup, put
asbestos. That's it.
Soak it. Right, soak it in asbestos.
I've tasted it.
Soak it in cough syrup and then wrap it in asbestos. That's a peep. Yeah, I'm good. I don't even know why anybody would eat one of those.
Because it's Eastery and they're pink and yellow.
And they're cheap. They're like $1.99.
Jesus ain't eat no Peeps. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all. If Peeps were around when Christ was being crucified, you know how they gave him the vinegar and whatever, they put a peep next to it too. They give him a peep too.
To wash it down.
They stabbed his side.
They give him a peep. It would be part of the torturing while being on the cross.
It's torturing.
They're an awful candy. It should never have been invented. I don't know why people eat it.
All right, Marty. Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, or New Year's Day? One has to go.
Easter.
Oh!
It's got to go.
The Super Bowl of our faith?
Because you know what? I always think about God and how great he is, and he's amazing.
You pray without ceasing. Yeah.
I pray without ceasing. But you can't change those other holidays. Like the other we don't even know,
New Year's Day isn't, I don't know.
Well, we don't even know if Jesus was, Easter. It could have been November. Who knows? We just gave that a date. Same thing with, kind of Christmas. But
we know it wasn't spring for sure.
Easter is the one that does change, though. It's either March or April.
I would say we could move. I celebrate the birth of my Savior every Sunday.
Shondo.
And so I love God and I love Jesus and he loves Christmas.
Shondo.
But how many times did you open your Bible last year?
Every single day.
I was talking to Cohen the other day, and something about Easter came up, and I was like, well, it's like the most important holiday for our faith. And he's like, what about Christmas? And I was like, hold on. For our faith, every religion, most religions acknowledge Jesus was born. They think he's a prophet or a good man. We uniquely with Easter believe that he died and was resurrected. For the Christian faith, Easter is the most important holiday.
But I don't want to get rid of Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's. So, and then also like those kind of come with gifts, and I don't know. Easter doesn't really come with gifts. I don't
Easter,
baskets.
You get an Easter basket.
No,
with a lot of peeps inside of it. Don't nobody want that old stale basket?
Yeah, peeps. I do like the Reese's. The Reese's with the extra peanut butter is always lit in the fridge. When you throw them in the fridge, you have one at night. They're hitting, but. Yeah, I love Easter and I love God, but man, it's not. I don't think there's enough flair for me. I need people to decorate their houses more, and I need to feel like a thing. But
I will say this: the Reese's Easter candy hit different. I was just talking to my wife about this. Like, I don't know what happened. I feel like Halloween is so much candy that's made during that time that all of the candy manufacturers, they don't do a good job. But it feels like the Easter candy, the kind that's good. Like they
extra peanut butter.
I feel
Reese's?
like they level it up. I feel like they level it up for Easter.
For the Lord's Day.
For the Lord's Day.
Some Thrifty's ice cream. Forget about it.
Easter candy is how I figured out that Santa was a lie, the Easter Bunny was a lie, the Tooth Fairy was a lie.
How?
Because
critical thinking.
I was 5 years old, and my family was going out to Cocoa Beach for Easter weekend, and we were gonna visit some friends over there and go to their church and stuff. And it was about an hour away. And I remember packing up the car, luggage and stuff. My mom then put snacks in the trunk. And I remember seeing Nutri-Grain bars with the purple wrapper. And then on Easter Sunday in the hotel, the Easter Bunny found us, and here's your basket. And I saw the same granola bars. And I confronted my mom. I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I was like, you made this basket, not the Easter Bunny. And she had a thing that she would never lie to me about the holiday traditions. She would, if I say, is Santa real? She would go, well, what do you think? And I would then say my theory, and she'd go, well, that sounds good. She would never lie to me about this stuff. So when I said, you packed this basket at 4-something years old, she's like, yeah, you're right. And so then we visited our friend's church, and they take me to the kids' church. And I take it upon myself as a visitor to inform all these deceived children that this is all a lie. And so all the parents are picking up their kids, and they're all upset because their kids are confronting them about the lie of the Easter Bunny and Easter baskets. But then I was like, well, if this is a lie, Santa's a lie. And if this is like the Tooth Fairy is a lie,
the trail kept going.
That's why
that's conspiracy.
That's why we're friends. That's why we're friends, because I did the exact same thing just on a different holiday. I did it on Christmas.
Did you really?
One day my mom comes home, and I'll never forget the look on her face. This was a year that my mama was stressed out. So my birthday is December 16th. So around this, so it's a 2-week period of Christmas and all those different things, right? My mom comes home and she forgets my birthday. And I'm just, man, I'm frustrated. And I had to, so then she goes out and gets me a toy, but she forgets that we're having like a dirty Santa at school. So I had to take my birthday gift and wrap it for my Christmas gift at school. So it was just a bad one. She was going through it. I was going through it. So then
I want to do a GoFundMe to restore that Christmas and buy. We need a fundraiser to get him some toys. Yeah.
So then within the next couple of days, one day she comes home and she says, "Look, son, there's no Santa Claus. And I worked too hard to come out here for some big fat white man for you to give credit to some fat white man coming down the chimney and saying that so there is no Santa Claus. Jesus is the reason for the season." This is what she got, Jesus is the reason for the season. So guess what I do? I go to school and I say, "Hey, y'all, my mama said there ain't no Santa Claus and we ain't no fat white man sliding down the chimney."
I love
all
it.
The kids are crying. They're upset.
I love it.
So my mom gets a note that, hey, we respect all of this, blah, blah, blah. But Derek prophetically told everybody that Santa Claus wasn't real.
That's amazing.
All right, Emily, Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X, your generation, or Boomer. One has to go.
Dang.
So rude. I think it's got to be Boomer. spiritual sisters are Gen X.
Gen X is like the forgotten. Nobody's talking about Gen X. Boomers made an impact on society.
So that is my parents. I would like them to stay around personally.
We're not killing them.
What do you mean by getting
You're watching way too many true crime shows. We're not going to line them all up.
What do you mean by get rid of? What does that mean?
I don't know. One has to go. That's it. That's the name of the game.
And
no one dies.
And where are they going?
No one dies. The stakes are too high in your mind.
Or something?
Yeah, they're going to an island. We're just removing them from society. We're not killing them.
Okay, well then I'll be... Then now I want to be a part of this. So,
stakes are changing.
Stakes are changing. I'm trying to think, do I want to be a part of millennials or Gen Z for this one? You know what? I'll just go millennials. They've had a tough time. So
millennials gotta go.
Me and the millennials will go
all right.
to the island.
Damn, you sacrificed us?
You're done.
I'm with y'all.
We're removing you from society. You're going off to an island.
Somebody else. Don't get us out of here. You know, that just goes to show Emily's like she's self-sacrificial. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get
that's what it is.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Derek. Tacos, burgers, pizza, fries. One has to go.
It's a torture chamber.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Said tacos.
Burgers, pizza, or fries?
You know what? I think I'm going to get pizza up out of here, bro. I'm going to keep it real.
See, if you flipped it and said, what's the one food that you could eat for the rest of your life if you could have nothing else? I'd say pizza.
Yeah, for me, it's, nah, we ain't going to get the pizza up out of here, bro. I'm going to keep it all the way real with you. Pizza's not I like pizza, but nah, I can't get rid of tacos. I was on the fence between pizza and tacos, but there's just good street tacos, man. You can't beat them.
Mm-hmm. Marty, AirPods, portable chargers, smartwatches, or Bluetooth speakers. One has to go.
Bluetooth speakers have to go.
Oh, really?
All right.
That was so quick.
Yeah, because people over here in California will just walk with the Bluetooth speaker. And you'll be like, you'll be like eating outside and someone's playing like Boss Flow, or some like crazy rap song, and you're like, what's going on over here? And it's somebody with a what kind of speaker? The JBL speaker. I'm like, what are we doing over here?
The pills.
Yeah. So those need to stop. I don't want to. You're not in a car. You're walking. You have your legs. There's no wheels happening. And the JBL speakers need to go.
In MTSU, we had a guy that was paralyzed from the neck down. And his wheelchair had the largest Bluetooth sound speaker on the planet. And this man would literally be riding around MTSU's campus blasting Lil Jon and the East Side Boys at the most obnoxious levels. Like you would hear him before he pulled up. And it's just like, I have the fondest memories of this dude. I just had to put it out there. I forgot what bro's name is, but Bluetooth speakers for me, it brings those memories. But
Wheelchair Jimmy.
All right, Emily, coffee, your phone, Wi-Fi / cell data, or indoor plumbing. One has to go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Say it one more time. Okay. Coffee, your
phone, Wi-Fi, or indoor plumbing.
Indoor plumbing.
I mean, I have to have indoor plumbing.
That's gotta go.
Because I also have to have coffee. So gotta have both of those. And then
your phone or Wi-Fi.
They go kind of together anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Indoor plumbing for me is gone. I'm going back to.
You're going out to the outhouse, but you got Wi-Fi.
How they
so
do it in
cares,
China,
right?
where it's a hole in the ground and we crouch down. That's what we're doing.
No, I will be too old for that. I'll be an auntie for that one. I don't know. I guess Wi-Fi.
Going back to the net with Sandra Bullock. That's what you're going back to. All right.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, sure.
All right, Derek. Brushing your teeth, washing your face, showering daily, or wearing deodorant. One has to go.
Ooh, this is rough.
I feel like you gave this to me because I'm black. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like
next
usually
on the list, my friend.
Usually there's like the black people always making fun of white people all the time for their hygiene habits. It's like, all right, we gonna put you. This like.
Did you see that video?
This like Saw for black people. That movie Saw.
Cameron's like, take a shower without a cleaning rag or no rag. You know,
no
like,
wash rag.
Yeah,
you can't wash your legs.
You're not to wash under your knee.
No. All right, give me that again.
Brushing your teeth, washing your face, showering daily, or wearing deodorant. One has to go.
Man, y'all would hate me if I didn't wear deodorant. And I gotta brush my teeth.
Take a shower every 2 days.
I think the shower every other day is gonna be what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that video? It was on TikTok this week of this white girl. She's like a ginger. She talked about like, I ended up on
Black Twitter,
like, the black side of TikTok.
Yeah.
And she was like, white people, we are not cleaning ourselves. Like, and then she did like a 2-minute video about like, okay guys, we need to like scrub under the like just like literally walking through.
She had me in a chokehold for all 2 minutes, bro. I was listening.
Kev on stage did a funny video about that.
It was hilarious.
And then the comments on the video of like, there was like a lot of like black people commenting, being like, "Thank you, we've been telling y'all, like, please clean yourself."
Yeah, that whole Hollywood thing where like famous actors are like, I shower once a month and like just let the water run over me, sort of a thing. Anyway, all right, Marty, The Office, Parks and Rec, New Girl, or Brooklyn Nine-Nine. One has to go.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've never seen it before, but I've seen the other ones. Yeah,
I
love Andy Samberg, but
I think you would like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I think I would too. But the other three, New Girl. My wife loves New Girl, and so she got me into that. Yeah, I would have to say Brooklyn. I just never seen it.
All right. Last one, Emily, here we go. Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings? One has to go.
What was the second one?
Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings.
I think I'm getting rid of Star Wars.
Whoa. I've never even seen Lord of the Rings before.
I actually really love I just watched it for the first time a few years ago, but I actually really loved it, which I like fantasy stuff, so it's not super surprising. Marvel, I love. And then Harry Potter, that's just like a nostalgic one for me, because I grew up with it. So, sorry, Star Wars.
Man, that's rough. All the Star Wars are just being deleted right now.
Just
going to that island with the boomers.
They're being sent to the island with all the millennials.
All the stuff we don't want. They're getting Wi-Fi. They're getting indoor plumbing. They get to wash their face. Shower every single day.
No. We keep indoor plumbing. Like you.
Yeah, I'm keeping indoor plumbing.
They get to shower every single day.
You was the only one that was on that boat, Cameron. Are you Are you keeping indoor plumbing?
Of course, I'm keeping indoor plumbing.
That's
Marty was the one who said it. I was
We're
joking.
going back to studio and performing at festival life.
Yeah, Marty wants to go to his porta potty, but he's got his phone and his Wi-Fi, so he's good. So
no Sirski, that you gonna be on that island by yourself, my boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for the second installment of One Has to Go. Well, thanks again to Taya for joining us today. Make sure to check out her new album, The Reminder, which is available now. Hey, and with that, have a great Good Friday if you're listening to this when the show came out, and a great Easter weekend. I hope you have a wonderful time with friends and family and church, and just have a great Easter weekend. This is the Super Bowl for our faith, so hope you celebrate it well. All right, on that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Marty.
We'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Make sure to check out our coverage at the intersection of faith, life, and culture every day at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, don't miss our latest digital issue. Issue 116 features Nate Bargatze, Connor Price, and a lot more. And don't forget Relevant Plus. It's the best way to experience our content, including ad-free reading, an ad-free version of this podcast, and more. You can get all the info and sign up at relevantmagazine.com.
Technically millennial. Sometimes I say I'm Gen Z when it benefits me.
Relevant Podcast Network.